Hello, Melbourne. I'm Oliver Clark. I'd like to just take a bit of time out and bring you on a journey. But first, let's get comfortable. Let's take a little time to ease the body and really feel connected with the body, the vehicle for the mind. Let's take a few breaths. A big one in. And out. That's it. Get comfortable. Feel the weight of your seat or ground. Take the full weight of your body. I'd like to tell you about a time I first rode the train Puffing Billy up in the Dandenong Ranges. I was 8 years old, and I was with my parents, who are divorced now. It was a sunny day. The lush forest growth smelt fantastic. Oh, delicious. Almost as delicious as the award-winning vanilla slice I purchased from the local bakery up there with my pocket money. I gave them 40 cents. They said, "That's not nearly enough." But I walked out pretending I didn't hear them. And then we purchased the tickets for the Puffing Billy train ride. I was very excited. We hopped on board, took a seat, and there was the conductor, Peter. A jovial man, enjoyed his food, wearing a conductor's hat, very cliched. But he seemed to enjoy it, almost as much as I enjoyed my vanilla slice. It was delicious, but I don't know if it was award-winning. The train started its journey, clickety-clack. Clickety-clack. And in true Puffing Billy style, smoke began bellowing from the front and washing back over us in the carriages. Because with Puffing Billy, as you're well aware, it doesn't have windows, and you can stick your head right out. My sister stuck her head out, feels the breeze wash through her hair, and as she opened her eyes, she got a bit of wood chip stuck in her eye from the smoke. She started wailing, but I was still enjoying my vanilla slice, and I found it a little distracting, to be honest. But as I was devouring that delicious, non-award-winning vanilla slice, I looked at Peter, the conductor, and I thought, that is one happy man, doing the thing that he loves. And I wondered, has Peter been doing this his whole life? Is this his passion? His reason for living? I thought to myself, I think this man wasn't always a conductor. Perhaps he was in the corporate world at one point, a bigwig, a head honcho, a big cheese. In the corporate world, commanding large sums of money and not really doing much work for it. And maybe he was surrounded by yes men and women, with a family who he never got to see because he was too busy working for a company that demanded way too much of his time and had negative impacts on his health. And maybe that's where his love of food began. Peter began comfort eating, perhaps, to numb the pain of this corporate world. The world he was in, but unknowingly did not want to be part of. But Peter perhaps had a love for miniature trains. He would, for hours, painstakingly avoid his family once again and build these miniature railway tracks and houses and parks and whatever the hell they do with those miniature trains. And maybe one day Peter thought, what am I doing in this corporate world? This world that doesn't really feel like a good fit for me. Maybe Peter went, hey, maybe I should follow my true passion of trains and become a train conductor. And so one day, Peter threw in the towel at his job as the CEO of this bigwig company and decided to follow his passion. Without any experience of actually conducting a train, maybe Peter decided to steal a tram at one point, just to get a taste. He hopped on the tram, pressed a few buttons, and suddenly he found it was going clickety-clack, clickety-clack. And that was all he needed, just to get a taste of the sweet, sweet, sweetness of a conductor. For him that would have been delicious. So he applied to be a conductor on the Puffing Billy. Lord knows, he'd puffed a few billies in his time. Whatever that means. Or whoever Billy is. And what luck on his first application. He was granted the job of conductor of Puffing Billy. He certainly did look happy there, putting smiles on the kids' faces and telling stories about his time in the corporate world, which seemed a little odd. But the kids seemed to enjoy it. It sure was a sweet ride there on Puffing Billy. And I remember those good times. For it was one of the last moments I spent with my family as a whole, before my parents got divorced. I'll never forget it. What a journey. What a trip. And Peter, what a conductor. He was a conductor of a train, but that train felt like a symphony orchestra. And he controlled every note, to a T. Well, I hope you've enjoyed my journey, Melbourne. I hope you have a great afternoon.